election observer body, Kimpact Development Initiative, KDI, has released reports of its findings on the conduct of the 2019 Bayelsa governorship election. The body, in summary, scores the election low and wants INEC and security agencies to do more in subsequent elections to ensure credibility. Tunji Oye reports.
120 pages report is what Kimpact Development Initiative produced from the just concluded Bayelsa election under the Nigeria Election Violence Report for Bayelsa governorship election 2019. For about 2.5 hours, KDI gave an expose of findings pre-election and during the election. Many of the findings are quite disturbing and fall short of the standard of credible election.
Our finding in the last concluded Bayelsa 2019 election shows that the elections, our elections need to improve in the time of processes, in terms of violence that took place. Like, you know, we monitor the violence aspect that took place in the election, and we can confirm that, look, the election in Bayelsa, though compared to previous election, were not as violent as the previous election, but the violence that took place in Bayelsa election was worrying.
Country Director of International Foundation for Electoral System, IFES, believes electoral violence is the #1 concern of voters during election, a trend that needs to be addressed.
The #1 concern of everybody in the electoral process is election-related violence and security related to the elections. IFES has conducted surveys. We will shortly release the results of these surveys. But one of the things that come out very clearly in those surveys is that violence is the #1 concern, and violence in elections is the #1 concern of Nigerians when it comes to the electoral processes.
In most of the polling units in Bayelsa, election started late. So we find a situation where election was starting in 10 o'clock in some places. Now, election material, most especially in Yenagoa local government, did not arrive in those polling units on time. So you naturally expect Yenagoa, the state capital, to experience early commencement of polls. So when you begin to look at some of these minor issues, then you find out that, look, this was like about 5 steps back to what we have in 2015. Then concerning the security agencies, I think for me, I think people need to begin to look and query the figure the security agencies are pulling out. If they say they are deploying 30,000, who is verifying most of these people? Are they truly on ground? Because for you to have a lot of violence taking place in some of these places, and then you have slow response of police people, security agencies, is worrying.
With this report, stakeholders in the electoral process now have a working manual on how to conduct a credible election in future. From Abuja, Tunji Oye, TV 360 News.